Today we're going to be going over the 3 drills that I recommend all climbers include in their warm-up process so that you learn as much as possible before you get onto the hard climbs. So I love doing movement drills in my warm-up because normally the easy climbs that I'd have to do anyway aren't that exciting and don't really teach me that much if I'm not paying attention. These movement drills do not make the climb easier, they make it feel a lot harder because they force me to pay attention to a certain aspect of my movement. Okay, drill number 1. I call this one the robot. You will see why very, very quickly. This is an excellent drill for better understanding how we move around the wall, what types of strength we're engaging, and how we find balanced body positions in different circumstances. For this drill, you need to find an easy climb on a vertical wall. It's got to be for our warm-up, so I want it to have really, really good handholds. But ideally, I want it to be an interesting climb, not just a ladder. This one is a little bit laddery, but it's got holds close together, holds far apart, it goes back and forth. I think this will be a good one for the drill. Now, the rules are to ensure we're eliminating all momentum from our movement. Once I have 4 points of contact attached to the wall, then I can move around and do whatever I want. As soon as I want to move one of these points of contact, like I want to move this right hand now, I've got to do it in complete isolation. So I need to release that hand with none of the rest of my body moving, move it to the next point with none of my body moving, and then grab it. And once I've grabbed it, now I can move again. Now, the harder one is the feet. Normally I'd just do that. If I wanted to use my left foot, that little bit of momentum makes the move feel really smooth and easy. If I'm not allowed to do that, I need to do some problem solving, because if I try and release it now, I lose balance. So I'm going to stabilize to isolate that left leg, release and hover to show that I don't need to be there to maintain my position, move to the next point to show I don't need it to maintain this position, then I place it and now I can move again. Okay, back to moving the hands. Now I don't think, I can stably let go of my left hand, but I can't reach it from here. So the other thing this drill does is teaches me to estimate my reach really accurately. So I'm going to need to move my right foot, release and hover, move and hover, and place. As you can see, it can just be against the wall, doesn't need to be on a hold. Now I can find another position, release the left hand and hover, move and hover, perfectly in range, and grab, and I can carry on moving.
Would you recommend doing this for all levels as well?
For all levels of climber?
Yeah.
God, yeah. I've been doing this one for years, and I feel like I keep learning new stuff every time I try it. Don't necessarily even need to try it on harder climbs. So I'm going to try it on ones I've already climbed. But trying to be even stricter about these rules just forces me to learn a little bit more.
Why do you hover your feet and hands every time?
If I'm able to hover over those different points, it means I've found a really stable position.
How many times in your warm-up would you recommend doing this drill? Just on one climb or multiple?
I would probably spend about 5 minutes or so doing this drill. I'd probably do it on about 3 different climbs, but I've got pretty good endurance. So for most people, I'd recommend still doing about 3 climbs, but assuming they're humans who want to rest a little bit, it might take about 7 to 10 minutes. But this is the perfect time to be doing it because you're going to spend 10 minutes on those easy boulders anyway. May as well do a cool exercise to learn some cool stuff. The exact opposite of what we were just doing. Before, we were eliminating all momentum from our climbing and seeing what we learned about static body positioning as a response. On this drill, we're going to be doing a lot of momentum-based climbing. We're going to be doing what I call the Pogoing limbs drill. I'm sure lots of you have seen me do this before. For this drill, I'm going to aim to climb it 4 times. Each time I do it, I'm going to choose a different limb to become my Pogoing limb. That limb isn't allowed to touch the wall or any of the holds, but it is still going to be like heavily involved in every move, the driving force of all the momentum I want to use. If anyone doesn't know what a pogo is, it's me swinging a limb to gain momentum in a certain direction. Do you want to see that again?
Yes, please.
Whoa. So actually, yeah, that's always a really good check that I get students to do if they're not sure what the effect of pogoing their limb might be. Just stand on the floor, kick your leg like that, and you can see that it like lifts you in the air slightly. This also gives me a really good opportunity to start practicing slightly more complicated, coordinated moves. On harder competition boulders, there are loads and loads of like foot plant catches, and I have to palm down to catch my momentum. Either I can wait until I get on those boulders to practice this stuff, or I can have regular opportunities on easy climbs to practice it instead. Aside from that, the only other thing I'm focusing on is trying not to control off-balance positions by using strength. If I catch a position and realize, oh, I could stay here if I try really, really hard, I'm going to choose not to try hard, and then maybe I get to do like a cool foot switch or something instead. That's why I get all those cool learning opportunities. So lap number 1, I'm going to use my left hand as the pogoing limb. So not going to grab anything with it, but still going to be like really, really involved. There are 2 start holds. Obviously, I can't start with both, so I'm going to go for this one. Wow, that was very fun. Okay.
Louis made me do this drill a lot, and I think the hardest bit of it is not instinctively grabbing the hold.
Yep. Well, we're used to using forelimbs, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, right hand is the pogoing limb, left hand is not.
So you can see how he's using his arm just for momentum, swinging up to catch it.
Right, so I'm going to use my left leg as the pogoing leg. I've got a specific tip for this one, which I think will make it go a lot smoother for a lot of people. Common mistake I've seen people make on this is that they'll look for a handhold, pogo and jump to it, and then just slam into the wall with the rest of their body. My advice would be pogo and jump onto a foothold. I'm going to demonstrate this in a minute. Then stand up and see which handholds you can grab. It will take practice, but once you've drilled that movement, it feels much, much better than jumping, grabbing, and slamming into the wall every time.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'll go for what not to do. And then I can try and find a foothold afterwards. Or ideally, what I think you should do,
Yeah.
and you see I can make a much softer catch. Whoa! I'm just going to do that one again.
If it's your first time doing this drill, this will take a bit of time, for sure. It's going to be ages to get that hop.
It does take a bit of time to get used to, right?
Yeah, big time.
Right leg pogo. I think it's going to be the exact same moves that I just did with my left leg pogoing, but when I was pogoing like that before, now I'm going to pogo like that instead. But it should be the same moves.
To the cops, that's the motto. I don't see it coming to an end like legato. Let's get chipped like staccato, send a wave through the hood, now sounding like vibrato. Why you eat bread without
Middle of the shoe.
You amateur.
Amateur. What's this guy teaching? He doesn't know what he's doing.
Says coach on his t-shirt. What's he talking about?
Okay, main one that I talk about when I teach people this drill on like workshops and stuff. It hopefully looks graceful and smooth when I do it, and people are often a bit disappointed to find it does not feel graceful or smooth when they first do it. You've missed the bit where I was crap at it, and I spent many, many hours getting past the bit where it didn't feel graceful and smooth. So expect to find it quite challenging. You'll feel like a beginner if you're not used to doing this, and you'll learn really fast. Every time you fall off, learning opportunity.
to the cops, that's the motto. I don't see it coming to an end like legato. Let's get chipped like staccato, send a wave through the hood now.
This is a really good one. I love this one. So
You said that about them all.
Yeah, I know I said that about them all, but they're all really good. Okay, if you've been doing this so far, you will have done a static movement drill on some really easy climbs, a dynamic movement drill on some really easy climbs. You're feeling fairly warmed up. Now, if you do this last drill, by the end of this, you'll feel really warmed up and, importantly, really, really, really focused. So this drill is mostly about improving our precision, but we also get into a load of really, really good habits. We intentionally read all of the climbs before we get on them, which realistically normally I don't do. On my easier mid-grade climbs, I know I'm going to be able to do them even though I make tons of mistakes, so I don't read them and I make tons of mistakes. If I do this drill though, I read them really, really carefully, I plan out what I'm doing, I then also practice placing my hands and my feet really, really precisely, and the more I do it, the more precise I get and the more confident I feel about my ability to be precise. And the other really, really good one is I get frequent opportunities to practice being brave in moments where I feel a little bit uncomfortable about the position I'm in. Let's give it a go. I call this one touch only. The rules are incredibly simple, it's all in the title. Once I grab a hold, I'm not going to shuffle around and try and find something better. Once I put my foot down, I'm not going to shuffle around and try and find something better. I would recommend the first time you do this, get a friend to watch you and play like sudden death mode. So Sam, you will be the judge.
Okay.
Okay, viewer, you will also be the judge. I'll be the climber. I'm going to do some readjustments on purpose, which just for the purpose of this demo. Sam's aim is to help me notice as soon as I readjust so that I'm really, really aware of it. To make sure you're starting every climb with loads and loads of focus, I'd recommend that you start the game as soon as you touch the holds, not after you've left the ground. Otherwise I could go blurb, yep, okay, and yep, okay, now we're playing. No. I think we should go for, once you touch it, the game started, right? So.
Right hand.
What?
You adjusted on your right hand, just then.
Okay, so good, very, very good. Sam's paying attention. So right, okay. Now I'm going to be more focused. Yep. Got that exactly where I want. Yeah. Okay.
Right foot.
Oh, there's no trick in this guy. All right.
Left foot.
Oh, okay, perfect. So I would play that with a student for a few minutes and I'd point out each of those readjustments. So get yourself doing that with a friend. Once you get to the point where you notice you've readjusted before your friend gets a chance to say anything, very good. Now you've built really good awareness of readjustments. I'd like you to switch to the main version of this drill, which I'm going to do now. Pick 3 mid-grade climbs. I usually go for like flash level, but I'll warm up a little bit more on this one and then I'll do some harder ones. I give myself 3 attempts to try and find the minimum number of readjustments I can make on a climb. So it might be that I do the climb once and go, cool, I did it, but I readjusted like 5 or 6 times, so now I'm going to do it again. Let's see if I can do less than 5 readjustments. This is a really, really good way of just repeating climbs and learning to do them a little bit better, but with a specific focus as to what you're doing better. Right, okay, let's give it a go. I'm going to just do this without readjusting now. Yep. So, Oh no, Sam.
Did I miss something?
No, I've stood right on the edge of a hold and it feels really uncomfortable. What should I do? Should I readjust it?
No.
I guess I better just make myself stand on it anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, and it actually turns out to be kind of all right.
Nice.
I'll explain why I did that when I come back down. Hang on.
Yeah.
Okay, so quick bit of extra learning. I was saying before, in this drill, I get regular opportunities to practice being brave when I'm in a slightly uncomfortable position, standing right on the edge of a good foothold. Specifically, what goes through my head is, oh no, this foothold's a lot worse than I expected it to be, but I don't really have any other choice, so I'm just going to make myself stand on it. That train of thought is very similar to just standing on an actually bad foothold and going, oh, that's a lot worse than I wanted it to be, but I don't really have any other options, so I'll just make myself stand on it. Ooh, and it actually turns out to be fine. So you just gently push your comfort zones regularly with this drill. Right, let's do another one. I'm going to go for a harder one. This is usually what I'd recommend students do. I'm going to look for a climb. I'm going to look at going, oh yeah, I'm pretty certain I can flash that. But the idea of doing it with one touch only all the way through actually sounds really hard. Oh, hey, okay, no, here's one.
What are you looking at?
I'm looking at blue V4 here. Well within my flash grade. It looks really hard to do it without one touch. I'm going to try and do it on my first go. And Sam, you help me just count the number of readjustments I make.
Okay.
But I won't go back to the start if any of them... Decisions. Okay, I'm going to go like that. I'm going to see what happens if I try not to change it afterwards. Yeah. Oh no! Okay, let me give it another go. Okay. Oh my god. Oh no. One.
Yeah.
2. I realised as I did it, as I matched feet on this, it's like, I think I've now made the next move harder because I've left myself with a much bigger step to do. I could have stepped here instead, so I think I'm going to do that on the next one. I also, really important one, I put my foot too close on this because I hadn't read ahead to the next move. So then when I had to stomp it to the next one, I was like, right, well, I'm just going to put it there first next time. So already I'm learning like all this cool stuff about how to just do this climb a little bit better. Okay, let's go for less than 3 this time then. Remembering.
Nice. Nice. Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't see any.
I don't think I made any, no.
Yeah.
I did put my left foot loads further on this one, but I put it quite close to the wall, which meant I didn't have much balance. I don't know if you could see it, but as I stepped off the right foot to there, felt like I was about to die.
Yeah.
The right foot did not feel good. So yeah, pushing my comfort zones. Right, okay, so that was me down to 0. Let's go for a last one, and then we'll stop there. I'm going to try this purple V7. And I think after I've done this one, I'm going to be very warmed up and very focused. So I'm going to read it a little bit first. Okay, it looks all right.
I'm just going to point out that most people in their warm-up won't be able to do this. On a
Probably
V7.
not, no,
No.
maybe not. Maybe if you
That's
practice
okay.
enough, if you do these drills, then maybe you will be. All right. Oh, that first move's going to be hard.
Nice. Yes.
Ooh.
Nice. It almost looks like you're doing the robot drill a little bit.
Oh, a little bit, although actually that's the last thing that I want to say on it. Very often when I first show someone this drill, it's really tempting because you know you're only allowed to grab every hold once, to like be really hesitant and really careful about how you get it and to climb in quite a static style. I'd actually recommend that you confidently go for those placements. Reason being that you're probably actually more precise than you think you are, and if you just go for it confidently, you may well just get it right. And I'd also say that if you don't get it perfectly, then you get an opportunity to practice being brave with a not perfect hold. So yeah, strongly recommend this last one. And now, I'm very warmed up, I've learned a load of cool stuff, ready to get on with the rest of my session. So for now, folks, if you like those drills, leave some comments, ask questions if you like, and get practicing. If you want more of those drills, click the join button, and you can get weekly training plans from me with loads more of stuff like that, so we can make ourselves better at climbing without actually having to get stronger. Although we do also have loads of off-the-wall training from Neil Gresham. Very good deal. Aside from that, leave some comments, like, subscribe, all the healthy YouTube things. I'll see you next time. Bye, folks.